Good morning, my fellow credit renovators. Hey, I just wanted to drop you guys a line about the latest that's going on with the lawsuit between the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau and Experian. Let me tell you what that's all about, and let me tell you what you need to know in terms of actions at this point in time. First, a little bit backstory. The CFPB, that is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, that's the part of the government that enforces the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is the law that tells the credit bureaus, that tells creditors how they're supposed to report our information on our credit reports. They hold them accountable for the information being 100% accurate and true. The Fair Credit Reporting Act has several laws in place that make those rules law. They make them law. They are actual legal statutes at the federal level. So all of those things that we expect from the credit bureaus in terms of information being accurate and true, those are set by law, federal law. So I stress that for a reason. So number one, it's something I've been saying for years is that I know for a fact that oftentimes when you guys, us, request an investigation on inaccurate information on a credit report, when we reach out to the credit bureau, whether it's TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax, that they oftentimes just turn around and go right to the creditor and say, hey, you guys reported this. The consumer says it's wrong. Is it right? And they go, yeah. They say, okay. And then they turn around and they tell you, we did our investigation. Information is accurate. They didn't ask the creditor to prove anything. They didn't ask them, which is why when I do my thing, and what I tell you guys to do is do that validation and verification and make them prove that the information they're reporting is true and accurate by showing us a contract that says it's our debt, by showing us a pay history that showed when we went delinquent, and by with a collection agency showing us that they can legally collect on the debt. But again, with for the sake of this discussion, we're focusing on the accuracy of the information. Is the balance right? Is the date that I started right? Is the date I went delinquent right? Are all the dates right? Is my name right? All of those things that are part of that file, that account needs to be accurate. And if it's not, if we see something wrong, we ask the credit bureau, who is supposed to be the hall monitoring all of this, that say, hey, can you double check this information? And then they're not checking on our behalf. All they're doing is just doing, like I said, they just turn around and ask the creditor, hey, you reported this. Is this correct? And they say, yeah. And they say, okay. Now, at this point in time, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau has decided to sue Experian and call them out on this practice that all three of them have been doing for years, to be honest with you. I'm not sure why they chose Experian first, but I do believe, I haven't seen anything yet, because I do get the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau newsletter, and I wanted to wait and see the whole story before I started talking about it, just to get as much information as possible for you guys. But based on what I'm seeing, Experian is the first, but I don't believe they're going to be the last, because I believe the CFPB chose Experian first, and to try to set a precedent, and then they're going to go after the other two, whether whether they're depending on how successful they are here or there. But I think either way, they're going to go after them. Now, with that being said, it's a lawsuit, so that means it's got to go into court and it's got to go through a process, right, to determine whether Experian is guilty. And then more than likely, that's going to dictate whether they're going to have to pay any kind of fine, any kind of damages. Are they going to try to figure out some kind of class action settlement to everybody? Because essentially it will be everybody, and anybody would have who says that they've been negatively impacted on a monetary basis for the bad information on their account. Or I guess maybe they'd have to prove that any in previous investigations that they requested that didn't get properly investigated, they can try to get damages of some way, shape, form, or fashion. Who knows what's going to happen there? But I want to put out a word of caution to you guys. Number one, as you can imagine, there's already, because I checked last night and I checked this morning, there's already dozens of videos out there from people who are already telling you how they can help you take advantage of the lawsuit to fix your credit faster and all of this stuff, how to use the lawsuit to help you with your credit, how to use the lawsuit to this. Listen, the lawsuit is only holding Experian's feet to the fire, as we call it, for what the law already provides. The law already provides for credit bureaus and creditors to provide validation and verification for any debt, and that the credit bureaus correct anything that's incomplete, that they do a proper investigation where they ask the creditor to prove what they're saying and physically verify it through documentation, not just a yeah, that's right type of thing. So these people out here, I'm not saying they're shady, but all I can say is if you're willing to infer that somehow this just having a lawsuit gives them magic powers to do something extra for your credit, all I'm simply saying is I don't know if I would trust them with anything, because some might say it's marketing zeal where they can say, oh, everybody's worried about the lawsuit and all of that. But all I'm simply saying is that the lawsuit in and of itself does not make the law that's already in place any stronger. It's already a strong law. It's already there for us. It's just part of that process that I talk about when we do investigations, we request, and we got to go back and forth, because the first time they say, oh, we checked and it's right. And then we got to go back and say, no, we need proof, and then we got to go back and now that. So hopefully when the lawsuit is over, it'll stop Experian and the other three from making us go back and forth. But the lawsuit does not create any new magic opportunities for disputing items on your credit. The process is the same. The outcome may be better. Maybe they might be leery about that superficial investigation now. So that may be something to that. Now that they're being called out, they're going to be less resistant to do an actual investigation. But anybody that's telling you they got some magical formula or some new magical trick because of this lawsuit, I question their morality. That's all I'm saying. So don't think that, if anybody out there that's trying to tell you they got some special technique or some new special way to check to increase your credit because of this lawsuit, I would say take your blinders off. Make sure you don't have any blinders on. I'm making a presumption there, but make sure you're not using rose-colored glasses to listen to what they're saying. So that's that. So I just wanted to dispel anything if you're coming across them, because I know I've been seeing them already. So I just wanted to dispel the myths and the misinformation that's already out there about the lawsuit. I wanted to give you guys a warning about the people out there who claim that because of this lawsuit, now there's some magical way that they can clear your credit faster and guarantee this, that, and the other. And I also wanted to let you know that don't be surprised if later on down the line we're going to see similar lawsuits with Equifax and TransUnion. But this is another reason, because I've been saying this for years, that they do superficial investigations, especially when you guys do your own disputes electronically online. They kick those back real fast. It's tougher. They still do it, even because I do all my work with the credit bureaus is done in writing, just like all my work with the creditors is done in writing, because when you send letters, they're certified, there's proof, they have to process those letters. It's a little harder for them to dismiss written requests as they do electronic requests, or sometimes they process them so fast because they feel that if they give people a fast no, as it is, you're not happy with the outcome, but at least you got a fast answer. In this day and age, people have an unrealistic expectation about speed. And so that when they get a fast answer, even whether it's a good answer or not, people are less resistant to a fast no rather than a slow yes, and go through the process. So I just wanted to let you guys know that yes, the Experian, the lawsuit is real, but it hasn't changed anything. There's no new magical opportunities, other than maybe, like I said, they may be a little less resistant to kicking back investigations during this time while they're being watched and being investigated themselves. So obviously they deny the allegations, and so now they got to try to prove it. So now they may be, that's your opportunity in terms of you might get better responses on investigations the first time instead of having to go 2-3 times. But there's no magic credit sweeps because of this investigation. There's no magic way. They're not, or they're, I've seen one where they're saying, oh, they're giving everybody a boost in their score just because of the lawsuit and things like that. None of that stuff is real. None of that stuff is true. I am a consumer of the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau's website and their newsletter. I get my information about that directly from them, not through some middle channel, not through some editorial, or but I do look at the news articles too. But everybody's information regarding credit comes from the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau anyway. So I figure, why read all the secondary stuff when I can get it right from the source? And then I share that information with you guys. So I just wanted to put a quick video out about that and let you guys know in case you're being bombarded with those types of things. And so I just wanted you to have the skinny on what's really going on with that. And right at this point in time, what does it really mean? Now, of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you have any comments about this, or you tell me you want more information about that, I'm going to keep putting videos out as new things come along. But of course, it's a lawsuit, so we know it's going to take some time for them to do all the legal maneuvering that they do. But if you got any questions or issues about this video or any of the other ones, please comment below. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe, and then you'll get notifications every time I put out a video. But give me comments. Let me know if you guys like the videos. If you don't, anything you want me to do better, topics that you want me to talk about, because I'm talking about what I think is most important, but I want to know what's important with you guys so that you can help me make better videos about the things that you want to know about when it comes to credit, financing, home buying, any of those things. So until the next video, talk to you guys soon, because remember, better credit leads to a better life. Better credit means a better life. Take care.